YouTube viewers, Rectangular back, this time with another review. Here we have the Super Imaginative Kogoken Volume 72 Kamen Rider Game Orange Arms from Tamashii Nation's Bandai. So this is a 7-inch scale figure. That is what the Super Imaginative Kogoken line is, or SIC for short. And regular Kamen Rider figures from S.H. Figure Arts are about 5.5-inch scale. So this is technically also from S.H. Figure Arts, but it's in their SIC line, which is a much larger scale. So I know very little about Kamen Rider, but I know that this series is kind of their inspired by different themes, and this one is based on like feudal Japan samurai. So when I saw him, even just the concept art or the prototype for this, I had to get it. So let's flip around the package and take a look at that. Here we have the back of the box with the figure in different poses. As you can see, he comes with a display stand that you can basically take all the armor off of the figure and put onto basically a mannequin, which is on top of a fancy box, and you can have your samurai armor, just in a display with the swords he comes with as well. So yeah, let's get him out of the package and get a closer look at him. The first accessory the figure comes with is this screen, which is basically a foil paper screen that you can fold and make more of a traditional Japanese screen for putting in the background. So it's a nice touch. Now that we have that foil screen out of the way, you can see the figure in the clamshell packaging with all the accessories he comes with. At the top we have the little belt accessories that, from what I understand, part of the Kamen Rider universe, they have like cards that let them use different powers. They plug into these their belts that they wear. So we've got 4 different type of cards that he comes with, and they all look really nice. And then we have the swords that he comes with. Now this character is based on orange, which is obviously a fruit. So we have kind of like the orange wedges there in the sword, and then we have the orange flame coming off the sword. Looks very cool, translucent plastic there. And then we have a more traditional sword, except he has that Kamen Rider type of device that they wear on their belts. So I kind of wish that he just came with a traditional sword, but for fans of the show, they're probably going to appreciate that. And then he comes with the scabbard that the sword slides into, and then he comes with 2 extra sets of hands, and then an extra helmet with an open mouth, and then a stand for the swords, and then we have the mannequin piece to attach all the pieces of armor onto, and then the stand to put the mannequin piece on top of. Alright, so let's get him out of the package completely and take a closer look. Here we have the figure out of the packaging with all of its accessories, and man, it's a very impressive figure. The accessories are quite nice. You can see the sword here. It's got a nice like teal green around the end there, and the handle itself is sculpted really well. A lot of detail in the entire area of the handle, and the blade itself, it's really cool, translucent plastic. It really looks like an orange sliced open, and And yeah, the paint, all the paint is really nice on it. Very nice. And then we have the more traditional looking sword with the Kamen Rider device attached there at the bottom. Again, the handle looks really nice. Would have been nice to have a little bit of paint there in the handle just to add some variation, but overall it looks really cool. It's probably not showing up on camera, but there are two different colors of metal on the blade. On the front it's kind of like a titanium color, and then on the back and the top it actually kind of changes color, like silver and titanium, and then more of a gold in the back and the blood groove, so that's very cool. And then we have the scabbard, and really nicely sculpted all the way down to the end. You got sculpting on both sides, and the sword does fit nicely into the scabbard, no problem, and it locks in so you don't have to worry about it falling out. So very nice. Really like that. I have a feeling you might be able to remove this device, but I don't want to force it right now. I kind of want to look at the instructions first to see if they have any kind of warning about it. And then the hands, extra hands he comes with. One is more of a closed sword gripping hand, and then we have a slightly more open hand or relaxed hand. So that's very cool that he comes with that, and of course the fists that he already has on him. And the stand for the armor, you can see the pegs for the different pieces of armor that, like for the shoulder pads, I'm going to sit there. They pop into each corner here, and then the head pegs into the top, and the chest piece goes into those two holes in the front. And don't know if the backpack piece pops into the back. I'll have to take a look at that when we get into that part of the review. And you can pull this off to put the skirt piece on first, and then you lock it in with the top of the mannequin. And it's really nicely painted with it's kind of a black glossy plastic, and then got that really nice logo on the front and gold accents on all the corners. Very well painted. And then you have the extra helmet with the open mouth, and it has the just a silver backdrop there for the eyes. And this is die-cast metal, and you can see the hole in the top of the visor for where the accessory pegs in. So yeah, this mask also separates so that you can put the eyes behind the mask there. And again, it's all die-cast metal. And it's got some weight to it, but it's not super heavy. And then we have the sword stand, and it's really nicely sculpted. It's a glossy black plastic. And get the swords to sit in there. I think that one goes on top. Oops. Alright, a quick look at the instructions, and that is the proper way to display the swords. Taking a closer look at the figure, I am extremely impressed with the amount of detail and how excellent the paint is applied all over the figure. There's paint where you don't think there is, or at least the plastic has been infused with paint. So like on his lower armor pieces, you kind of have a like a silver, like glossy shimmer to them. And yeah, just it really depends on how the light hits the figure. You're going to get a different type of shimmer or shine to them. So very, very cool. The legs are the only part besides the head that is die-cast metal. I was expecting the feet to be die-cast metal, but those appear to be plastic. And turning him around the back, you can see he has kind of like a, I don't want to say jetpack, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. Like an armored plate there that's got this green teal detail there at the bottom, and yeah, all the paint just really, really well applied. You've got like all these bronze rivets. Actually, I think those are supposed to be the ribbons that are attaching all the plates together. So you can really make those out well up close. Try to zoom in here a little bit, and yeah, just really, really love how all the armor picks up the light. Or just everything shines so nice, and the gold like webbing part of the armor here really well painted. And these little belt accessories are removable, so you can pop those off, and I assume you can swap those out with the other accessories that he comes with. And unfortunately, this other piece here on the side, it looks kind of like a sword or a pistol, that is not removable. And also on his belt, he's got a holster basically for his sheath to slide into, and that can pivot back and forth. And then he has just a molded on wakizashi, which is the Japanese knife. Other people refer to it as a tanto. And yeah, just really, really cool. The armor is on a ball hinge, so that pivots around, and we'll get into that more on the articulation. But yeah, the skirt piece is a soft plastic material, and it seems to move back into place very nicely. Not like a real soft rubber. It's kind of a nice medium between a regular plastic and a rubber type material. And everything, all the joints are really nice and tight on him so far. And yeah, I had to pull him apart to get the plastic that's protecting the two pieces of plastic here from rubbing together that he ships with. So he does come apart not too difficult, you don't have to worry about breaking him there. So you can see it's a ball peg there in the middle, and then the armor pops right off, and then you just have this floating torso piece. And these don't come off. These leg armor pieces do not come off. So you just put his lower or mid section back on, put the armor plates on, and then pop the top back right into the peg there, and bam, he's back together. Here you can see a close-up of the helmet, and just amazing how well they were able to pull off the helmet with the eyes have that that glowing crystal look to them. Just amazing, the sculpt that went into that. You can see how his mouth still kind of looks like an insect mouth, how a lot of the Kamen Rider helmets are. And the jewel in the center painted really well, and you can see the the visor still, translucent visor still on top of the orange gem that's inside. So really, really cool, and hopefully get a closer look of all the detail in his armor and belt. So yeah, extremely happy with this guy so far. Real quickly, I wanted to show the alternate helmet, or the die-cast metal helmet. The helmet that he comes with is plastic, so that's the one that's got the closed mouth and the lenses there. And this one here does not have the lenses, and it's got that open mouth, so it's pretty cool that you get an alternate look for the figure. And it's very easy to swap out. The centerpiece here, the blade on his head, doesn't quite fit. It sits a little bit cockeyed. Other than that, it goes on and off very easily. So pretty damn cool. Time to go over the articulation. So this guy is very well articulated. You can look all the way down, and you can look all the way side to side, no problem. The helmet does interfere with him being able to look up, but he has that ball joint, that ball peg that allows him to look all the way back, so very cool there. And you can look down or flex forward pretty good amount as well, which is good because he's probably going to be looking down on most figures. And like I said, the armor shoulder plates are on their own pegs, and they just pop off like that. You just pop them in if they come off. And the pegs themselves do not move, so you want to be careful not to bang them too hard there, or you could possibly break it. He does hinge side to side on the waist, really nice, and obviously swivel at the top. And the lower waist can move as well. You just kind of have to, manipulate it. But the upper torso does just a perfect job of maneuvering around. The arms are only slightly hindered by the armor, so you can get them at a 90-degree angle really well. For some reason, this one, there we go. Yeah, it is attached to the shoulder, so it's not a big problem there. And the elbows are double jointed, so again, you can get full rotation there on the shoulder. I'm just going to be careful about rotating that. Let's see. Not sure about how that shoulder joint is going to rotate. Yeah, it's probably going to pop off. But it's actually on its own hinge, it looks like. Yeah, so it goes back and forth. The hinge, the peg there does move up and down. But rotating his arm is just being a little tricky. It'll go forward and back, but for some reason the shoulder doesn't want to rotate all the way around. Let's pop that back on there. But yeah, very, very well articulated with those double jointed elbows. Get him all the way up to his mouth, and then they do have a rotation there at the forearm. It's not 100%, just cocks kind of back and forth a bit, and then the hand is on a double ball peg, so it'll swivel all the way around and then hinge back and forth. Quite a good range of motion there. And I think we pretty much went over the waist already, and the legs can go pretty far forward. The armor does move out of the way, so he can kick pretty damn high. And they do swivel or rotate just a bit, not a whole lot. And then he's got a double jointed knee, which goes all the way back, which is great. And then at the ankle, he's got a full ball peg there, so you can swivel it all the way around, and pretty decent amount up and down. I mean, actually really good up and down, considering he's got all that armor. And it's really nice they sculpted the armor so you could clear both pieces, so love that. And then he has a toe joint, which works a little bit, not a great amount, but totally fine with that. So yeah, very cool. Let's stick his sword into his waistband there. There we go. And pull the sword out of the scabbard, stick that in his hand. Fits in there very nicely. So yeah, very cool. Really love this figure, man. It was an investment, but yeah, there's the amount of sculpted detail, the accessories, the paint, everything is just so well done. And yeah, I'll go ahead and take the armor off and assemble the mannequin with the armor so you can take a look at that. Here we have the stripped down figure on the left, and on the right we have all of his armor from the upper body, minus those two pieces on his legs and the shin armor. But yeah, it's very cool that you have that option to completely remove all the armor off the figure. I didn't realize that the forearm pieces of armor are actually die-cast metal as well. So you've got those two pieces, and then the lower legs, basically from the knees down, and then one of the heads is die-cast metal. Otherwise he's all plastic. But the construction is very well done. It don't feel like I'm going to break the figure at all. Just feels really solid. All the joints are nice and tight, and the pegs seem to be pretty forgiving about pulling on and off the fists and all the armor pieces. So very happy about that. And let's wrap it up with some size comparisons. Here we have the figure next to the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Mandarin on the left, and on the right from Mattel we have one of the wrestling figures in samurai armor. Trying to remember what's the name of that samurai armor. I want to say Roman Reigns, but I don't remember. So you can see he's much more in the 7-inch scale than 6-inch scale is gonna tower over them. So yeah, just keep that in mind. He's not gonna fit in with a lot of different figures. And for one final size comparison, we have the Soda Street Fighter Gen on the left and Figma Ninja Slayer on the right. So yeah, like I said, he still, for me, is going to work for these figures. I'm going to be able to use him in different displays, but he's not going to stand shoulder to shoulder with 6-inch scale figures, that's for sure. So hopefully you guys like the video, you share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I always love hearing back from you guys, so please leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.
That's crispy.